What's going on, guys? I hope you're doing well. And before I jump into updates, I just want to say that I'm going to be trying to keep a relatively regular schedule from now on. I'll be posting videos or a blog post every weekend. It depends on what I have time for. And if it happens to be a blog, you can find it at my website, which will be in the description below. If you're interested, feel free to check that out. So this week I managed to get Collision almost fully implemented. There's still a couple things that I want to get done, one of which is adding a sphere collider and the other is adding a capsule collider. Now, aside from that, Collision is working absolutely perfectly. And I got a test set up here where I can show you. I can move around this capsule, or this, this cube, and you'll see I can move freely, but I can't pass this plane here. We collide with it on the bottom and on the top, and we also have the slope here. And you'll see if I move towards the slope, I will move up it instead of just going right through it. And same with going down the slope. Now there's another cube just above the slope, and you'll see when we try to go past, we get stuck on the bottom of our second cube up here. But we can go around it, and Collision is pretty much perfect, honestly. This is a existing Collision library that I had written. However, when I had originally written it, it was in 2D, so all I had to really do was translate this into 3D space, and yeah, it works perfectly, quite honestly. Now, this doesn't just detect collision for axis-aligned bounding boxes. I'm not sure if you are familiar with what that means, but that means basically a cube or rectangle that is not rotated in any way. But this can also detect collision for cubes that are rotated. Not just cubes, but anything that's rotated in any orientation whatsoever. Not just rotation, but scale as well. So as you can see, I've got these command lines written out here. And the first one is changing our scale to an x of 0.25 and a y of 0.25 with a z of 0.25 and a y of 1. And what that basically means is that we're shrinking the sides of our cube so that it's just skinny. Now the next one is rotation x, which we're rotating it on the x-axis by negative 0.45. We're rotating it on the y by negative 4.5 or 0.45, and we're rotating it on the z by 0.75. And when I press enter here, you see it won't change here until we go back to the game, because the whole focus thing with MZ. Okay. Now, when we click on it, you see that our cube has been updated. Now we have relatively skinny sides and a really awkward rotation. Now, if we move our camera here down to the plane, you can see that we detect collision almost perfectly. Let me try and get a better angle here. There we go. So you can see it collides pretty much perfectly. And it works the same with all of these shapes. Let's go up here. And you can see we'll slide up the plane. And you'll see that it's slightly touching more on the corner than anywhere else. So we'll slide across that corner there. And when we reach the top here, you'll see that it touches more on the side, and it pretty much is perfect. Like I said, the collision is really solid. We still can't go past this despite our rotation and our scale adjustments. You'll see we hit the top and the bottom, and so yeah, this is pretty much the collision that the Rose engine will be using, and it is based off of separating axis theorem, as well as simple axis align bounding box checks before jumping to separating axis theorem in order to save performance. So that's pretty much it for this update. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to help support this project, feel free to check out my Patreon or my Ko-fi accounts. You can find a link to them in the description below. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Take care.